Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode. In this episode, I have moved from the southwest to the midwest of WA. I have started chemo and I talk a little bit about how I'm coping with the treatment, and I eventually end up getting some new scans and I talk a little bit into those scans. So yeah, thanks for watching. So just to give you an idea what I was dealing with at the point where I decided to do chemo, this was my PET scan in June 23, 2025. If you're not familiar with PET scans, they put the radioactive sugar tracer in your blood through an IV an hour before the scan, and basically cancer gobbles up all the sugar and it comes up as these black spots on the screen to identify what's actively cancer. So the brain also eats up all this sugar, so my brain does not have cancer in it. Likewise, this is my kidney here and my other kidney here. They are processing the radioactive sugar, same with this urinary tract line here, and this is my bladder at the bottom. So my kidneys, my bladder, and my brain is not actually cancer. However, this big spot here is in my L3 in my spine. And all this mess here is in my breast and my lymph nodes, lungs and ribs, and my sternum. So yeah, it's pretty confronting. I had suspected I was going to start chemo before I even got this scan, but yeah, as soon as I got this scan, I was like, no, it's time. I'm not pushing it any further than that. And I started chemo a week later. It's pretty confronting, but there's always something to be grateful for. It's not in my liver. It's not in any of my essential organs. So yeah, things could have always been a lot worse.
Morning everyone. It's the 14th of September 2025, so I haven't actually done a video blog for probably a couple of months now. We've moved into our new house, settling in really nicely. Albie has just fit straight in at his new school and is loving it. I've been able to get my third and fourth treatment with chemo and immunotherapy in the nearby town of Geraldton, in the public system, not the private system this time, which has been really nice. They're a really lovely support in that centre. They gift out beanies and they have soups and books and lots of things to, help people's mood be a bit lifted when you're in there doing it all. Third round got me pretty good. I was pretty sick with nausea and diarrhea and fatigue after the third round, and then I caught a cold off my son and that turned into a sinus infection, so I was on a 10-day round of antibiotics. So my fourth round of treatment got delayed 10 days, finished the round of antibiotics, went straight into round 4 of chemo on Friday. So that was a couple of days ago. Feeling actually fine now. Feeling pretty good. I was able to enjoy the Northampton show yesterday with the kids, which was such a fun day and lovely community spirit. It was really nice. Hoping I can get through this round a bit more like I did the first 2 rounds, which was pretty cruisy. Minimal side effects. I've got like pins and needles in my hands, particularly one finger, and one hand is a little bit more swollen than the other. But I've got a referral for a physio appointment to try and get some exercises to support with that. And then the other one really is my hair. It's pretty thinned out now. It's pretty gross. I'm molting like a Burmese mountain dog living in Exmouth. I don't know if they mold in Exmouth, they're probably fine, but anyway. So yeah, I'm ready for the shaved head cancer look. I'm intrigued to see what I look like bald. The only thing that really puts me off shaving my head is just the attention, people staring at you. So I'll just have to get used to that. But now I'm excited to see what I look like bald. So I've been talking about it for weeks. I don't know if today's the day. I'll take a video and share it with you. My oncology, I had a CT scan done in Geraldton and a bone scan. They were worried about my ovaries because I have 2 very enlarged ovaries at the moment. So I get an ultrasound of my ovaries tomorrow. The oncologist, he's very nice, but he was very vague. I've been getting PET scans up until this point, and CT scans do show things a lot differently. So it is hard to compare a PET scan and a CT scan. But I wasn't prepared for my appointment and didn't ask enough questions. So I have a lot of questions rattling around in my head. And I also want a copy of my report, so of the CT scan, so I can read through it. I think that helps me feel like I have a bit more control when I can actually read through a report. And if I get access to images, even better. Even though I'm not experienced in it, I've got half a brain enough to be able to ask some questions. What does this mean? What does this mean? Just to help me wrap around where I'm at with my actual recovery, because he was very vague. He was like, if you can feel it, you know, you can feel the lumps and bumps getting better, or you can feel it's not getting worse, then it's working. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, but I have lumps and bumps that have been coming and going for the last 12 months without treatment. So yeah, that wasn't quite enough to put my mind at ease. So I'm hoping my new oncologist will give me the access to my CT scans. Sometimes they're a bit shady and don't like to give patients their own medical reports. Even getting blood test results sometimes I have to really pester for, which is crazy. So yeah, a little bit of anxiety around wanting to see the reports from the CT scan, and also I haven't seen any results from my bone scan either. So I'm going to request them to be emailed to me tomorrow, because I don't actually have another appointment with my oncologist until October. So I don't want to wait that long. But otherwise, life is good. Yeah, cruising. Buried alive by my son, Albie. The worst thing to be buried alive by.
So I got over my sinus infection and I started feeling a lot stronger. I also had the house to myself for a couple of weeks for the first time in forever, and I was just on cloud 9. I felt like I was, on top of the world, feeling strong, nothing can get in my way. So it was time to go down into Geraldton, go to the hairdressers and do the big shave. Hopefully it's not too windy here and you can hear me okay. Spring is finally here and it is just glorious. We've had such a nice week of weather and it's really replenished the soul. It's been really lovely. My hair was falling out gradually over the last couple of months. Over half of it had fallen out and I basically looked like a crackhead. My hair was really thin, it was really gross. I was molting everywhere. My hair was all over the house and pillow and everywhere. So I finally bit the bullet and off she goes. So yes, there she goes. I thought it'd be really smooth, but it's actually quite spiky. So it feels really strange. So yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to. My immediate feelings were of regret. What did you do that for? So I was a bit like, oh gosh. But yeah, I'm still like, what did you do? But I'm sure I'll get used to it over time. I've only got 2 more rounds of chemo left and then I imagine it'll start to grow back. Yeah, I don't know if it'll grow back over the next couple of months.
yeah, we'll see how we go. I know some people grows back like curly or a different colour, so I'd be pretty pretty intrigued to see how it grows back. Albie thinks I look like the bad guys from TV. And he is consistently telling me to put a scarf back on, so he's not a huge fan. But yeah, the bald eagle, the alien is upon us. It's okay, I come in peace. I'm thinking it'll look a bit better when I've got a tan on it. It's very white at the moment, so little pockets of sunshine and not letting it get burnt is my plan. But yeah, woo! Full cancer mode now, hey? Oh yeah.
Cancer can be a bit of a lonely existence sometimes, even when you're surrounded by love and support. There is quite often this overwhelming feeling of loneliness. So when I shaved my head, and my brother and my dad both sent me videos and photos of them shaving their hair in support of me and what I'm going through, it was just a beautiful reminder of how much I'm loved and how much support I have. So yeah, that was really special. So I'm going to attempt to make quandong jam, refined sugar free. Just got to cut the seeds out of the berries and whatever they are. Got the grated apple and the quandongs and some water. So it was a bit runny, so I put some chia seeds in there just to thicken it up, and now it's more of a jam consistency, and that'll thicken up over the next 15 minutes, and then I'll put it in a jar.
It's hard to look at myself like this, but anyway. I just got back from the oncologist. I am meant to have treatment in 2 days' time, so I had my blood work done this morning. And unfortunately my bloods aren't great. My white blood cell count is really low, too low to do treatment again on Friday. So we've, excuse me, delayed treatment for another week. I also have, I might have mentioned, I've got a weird side effect where I get pins and needles and numbness in my hands, and one of my hands is a lot more swollen than the other. And my oncologist did tell me that quite often that's irreversible damage. So he was quite surprised because I'm doing such a low dose of chemo and I am having these side effects, and my bloods aren't bouncing back very good after the last infusion, which was 3 weeks ago. So we both decided and agreed that I would stop doing the chemotherapy. So that means I did 4 rounds of chemo at half dose. He thinks that I would, the efficacy of the chemo, I've achieved that, and that I would continue on with the immunotherapy treatment every 3 weeks. And he seems to be confident that that will be enough to keep it at bay. So, I was quite happy with that decision. I didn't go in there expecting him to suggest stop doing chemo. So I was quite happy that the professional had told me I can stop, because I obviously don't really like the idea of chemo. But I am grateful that and glad I did it, because I had immediate positive changes. So yeah, I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad I'm stopping. So all coming together well.
welcome to Billy's cooking channel.
Welcome to Billy's cooking show. And I ordered out my new house. And I got Jeep.
Alright, so we got our common bliss ball recipe. We've got almonds and macadamias blitz, cacao, medjool dates, some honey, any kind of nut butters. We reckon a few different whatever's left over today.
And
We
peanut.
have cacao, we have chia seeds,
And
cacao nibs, a little bit of coconut oil. That might do us, eh?
and some vitamin nollies.
We don't need vitamin oils, no. Put it in the coconut. And then give it to Billy for a quality control check. What do you reckon?
Good.
We haven't even tried it yet. Eat it.
Mmm.
Tasty?
Yeah.
Good.
No.
Yummy. Hey, so I just wanted to have a quick chat about the experience that I just had while it's fresh in my mind. I was contacted by a angel on earth named Kel, and she offered me a healing session via Zoom, to which I gratefully accepted. So today we sat down, and the healing session, what it entailed was it's like a shamanic healing session. So she uses breath, voice, movement, and the spiritual realms to help shift any energy or any blocks of energy in our bodies or in my body. So she talked me through the process and what to maybe expect. And then I lay down, closed my eyes, and basically followed her prompts. And yeah, it was it was a really powerful experience, similar to the breath work I have done previously. A lot of work on my heart chakra, and I was basically encouraged to release anything that was no longer serving me. I was encouraged to make noise out of my voice through my throat chakra. So I was kind of just heavy breathing and making some noises, and eventually I had a big release and had a big cry. And the cry felt like it was an inner child, something from my childhood that I was holding on to. I didn't actually have a memory or an event or an association to even the feeling of like how I felt in that moment or something that had happened. I just had this big release, and it was kind of like a grieving kind of cry, which felt really nice. And then at the end, she asked me to try and connect with my spirit guides. With my higher self, and try and visualize myself looking back at me. And I didn't really see myself in a visual form, but I had like a feeling that I was looking at my higher self. And she asked, she said to like, if I was any messages to come to me, be open to receive. And I didn't think I was going to receive anything because I don't ever have moments like that. But I gave myself my special blanket from when I was a child. I have this knitted crochet blanket, which I still have in the cupboard today. I gave that to myself and wrapped it around me, and I told myself that I'm safe and I'm loved, and I'll always be safe and loved, and just like wrapped me up in this special blanket from when I was a child. And felt like I was a child again, and I just started crying. And then I hugged me, and then it felt like I turned into my mum, and my mum was hugging me. So it was really a really like heart-opening, lovely experience.
I had lots of like energy twitches, body twitches, and my jawline was like going all weird and exorcism like, to which Kel explained afterwards when we had a little debrief. She said yes, a lot of people release hold on to tension in their jaw because that's how we speak our truth, and we don't say how we feel, and we suppress how we want, not speaking our truth basically, and that's why a lot of people do actually release tension and release that there. So that was interesting to have that explained to me. Just I'm in awe of energy practices. I really am. Like, I feel so light and like just happy afterwards. So that was, thank you if you're watching this, Kel. You are, as I said before, an angel on earth. What a special human to gift me that act of service. So thank you. I'm going to try this video again. I keep mumbling my words today. I just posted my first video on YouTube sharing my story. I had a lot of trepidation about sharing my story because it's very self-centered, it's very personal, and it's very all about me, and it's not really what I'm about. But I had an overwhelming amount of support come back to me, which made me feel like it was the right decision to share it online. So if you've been following along and you're still with me and watching this today, then thank you for your support. I found it really therapeutic, not just recording these videos and putting the videos together and watching them back and then having the feedback from people. It's been really positive. So it's, I'm just very grateful. So thank you. It's like 15 months ago I got diagnosed. So it's been a long journey, and I have chopped and changed and done lots of different things and had lots of different mindsets throughout the entire process, as you do. It's the title of these videos, Riding the Cancer Wave, is the perfect title because it really does have its ups and downs, and there's big waves and there's little waves. You can't predict it all the time. Initially when I was diagnosed, and I was so determined to beat cancer naturally without the conventional route, and I knew I was making these videos, and I just really wanted to be one of those people that I had seen online and heard, read about and listened to stories that had done it naturally. And I wanted to be able to, be another example of that and beat the system, rage against the machine. But the reality was I was losing the battle. Not to say what I was doing wasn't doing any benefit to me, but it wasn't enough. So I had to put my ego aside and had to agree to do some conventional treatment. And the funny thing is the moment I decided that I was going to do chemo, which actually happened pretty quickly, it was almost like a flick of the switch one day. I was like, I need to do chemo. Once I'd made that decision, my whole body was like, okay. Like, I guess the reality of what I thought was my fears of chemo, the reality is I had to put my ego aside, and I had to admit that I couldn't do it on my own and I needed more help, and I wasn't going to be that example that, raged against the machine. But that's not what was important. The important thing is that I heal and I get better. It doesn't matter how I do it. It's interesting the impact that it had once I made that decision. Yes, I'm going to do chemo. I felt really good about it. There was no fear of the chemo. I wasn't worried about the side effects, long-term effects, nothing. I was just like, yep, bring it on. Let's do this. So it's funny how everything is about perspective. Hey, like, And you can change your perspective and you can be right in your own mind either way. So, life's a laugh, isn't it, really? But yeah, I might do a different video so I don't ramble on too much right now. But yeah, 15 months in, just uploaded my first video. If you're still following, thank you so much. I just wanted to have a quick chat. I got my bone scan results back, and the oncologist, he was pretty vague. The spot, I've got a spot on my L3 and a spot on one of my ribs, and I'm somewhere in the top of my spine and in my sternum, and it's all showing up still on the bone scan. So I questioned the oncologist saying, well, is the treatment working then if it's still the same, it's all still there? And he said, oh, it's actually really hard to tell on a bone scan because the cancer is already in the bone. It leaves a scarring, so you'll always have something show up on those bone scans. So I was like, oh, well, that doesn't really tell me anything then. I actually want a definitive answer to whether it's active or not. So it's a bit disappointing. I think I will request to be referred down to Perth to get a PET scan, which is what I had been getting up until I moved up to the Midwest, just to see, because that actually shows you what's active, what's not active, and I think it's a bit more definitive in its diagnosis. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. I was a little bit anxious about waiting for those results and a bit frustrated that it doesn't really actually tell you anything anyway. But yeah, there is a high risk of fractures when you have it in your bones, so they want to prescribe me a drug. I think they use it for osteoporosis to help strengthen the bones. And I'm going to do some weight training and strengthening exercises to help encourage my bones to want to try and be strong. But on a positive note, I also had a brain scan, MRI, because of the type of cancer I have. I'm at high risk for it to metastasize to the brain. So I had an MRI done just to ease my mind about that, and that came back fine, all clear. There was some little lump, but they didn't know what it was, so it made me just monitor that, but no cancer in the brain, so woohoo! So I recently did a heavy metals testing in the body, not because I had any symptoms, so to speak of, but I just wanted to kind of rule things out more than anything else. So I luckily thought of it before I shaved my head, and when I got my head shaved at the hairdressers, I kept a sample of my hair and sent that away for heavy metals testing in the body. So they test for like mercury and aluminium and lead and cadmium and yeah, all sorts of heavy metals, which I got the results back and went through it with my naturopath, and I don't really have any overgrowth of any heavy minerals in my body, but the test really did show a lot of other things as well. What was all these other minerals that are in the body, and what was in balance and out of balance, and I had quite a few things out of whack. And so the naturopath explained it all through to me. And the bottom line was basically my body is still in a bit of an acute stress response, and it is affecting my adrenals. They aren't functioning well. My liver is in the range, but at the lower end of the range. So that obviously impacts things as well. And yeah, lots of other things which explain my fatigue and my weakness in my body. So we've made some adjustments to some of the supplements that I'm taking, and I'm also taking some new supplements recommended from my naturopath that should hopefully help me with my energy levels and I just really feel weak, like I can't do much without getting exhausted. So
hopefully that's going to be a positive change. On the plus note, some of the, I can't remember the exact names of the types of minerals in the body, but she did say that the chemo was doing its job in keeping some of these levels in balance. So, I mean, chemo does lots of negative things, but it actually did what it was, some good things as well. So that was good to know. And yeah, I have two naturopaths. So I have my cancer guru naturopath, Eddie Enova, down in Perth. And then my other naturopath, Kylie, she's like the gut health guru. So I see both of them, and I do share the same information with both. And sometimes they do contradict each other. So, you know, you got to be mindful when you have too many cooks in the kitchen, but I've only got two naturopaths, and I get a lot out of both of them, and I really value and respect them both. So when they contradict each other, I just go with what I think makes more sense to me and in my situation. So yeah, I'm excited that we're shaking things up a little bit, and yeah, just the benefit of testing to see what exactly is going on with your body and then making adjustments, not just guessing. So yeah, worthwhile doing the heavy metals test for sure. And just quickly, while I think of it, if you're someone that takes supplements, I've learned that it's really important to look at the type of supplements that you're buying. There are a lot of supplements out there that actually do more damage than good. So if you can get clinical supplements from good, proper companies, don't buy the cheap crap because they're doing more damage than good. So yeah, there's a little educational note for you. I think a lot of the reasons I'm sharing the changes that I've made in my life, both mentally, physically, spiritually, is to kind of inspire people to be proactive with their health. You know, it's taken me a cancer diagnosis for me to make all these positive changes in my life, where you know, you don't have to wait for a scary death knocking on your door to make these changes. You know, like some friends have contacted me to say how they've been watching my videos and taking a more active role in their health, and you know, that self-love and looking after themselves. So that's great. I'm so happy that these videos are having a positive impact on people. It's not just, you know, because if you have cancer that you should look after yourself. You it's something like a lesson for everyone to know, to yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup, and you don't have anything unless you have your health. Health is number one. So it's not just your physical health, your mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. Yeah, take care of yourself, guys. Don't learn the hard light way like me, because it's very expensive and it's very time consuming.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Tune in next episode where for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I was invited to talk on a Zoom conference on a panel with 5 other beautiful women that were also going through a cancer diagnosis or had been involved in the cancer industry in some way. And that was just a really powerful bunch of women, and all on different journeys with really interesting stories. So that was really beneficial. I also opt to go down to Perth to get a PET scan so that I can get some more accurate and reliable results from my scans, and I will discuss the results of those. So thank you again for all your support.